7 things I wish I knew about losing belly fat. If I could go back to December 31st, 2014, losing all of this belly fat would have not taken me nearly a year. The sad truth is, most people fail and actually never lose their belly fat. But what I found both in science and helping thousands of my clients transform their bodies is that there's 7 things that if people just simply knew before starting their diet, they would not only increase their chance of success, but they would lose the belly fat fast. And today I'm going to reveal what those are and how you can use those and take advantage of them. I've done this myself multiple times after going through a bulking phase to build muscle and a cutting phase to lose fat, and I did this in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2021, and this is me right now as I'm 4 weeks out from my show. But before we start, as usual, if you appreciate the research, the science, and the editing that goes behind making this video happen, it would mean a lot to me if you would gently hit the like button or subscribe, and that's it. And as a thank you for doing that, I will be leaving a link to a mini course on nutrition to be able to lose your belly fat. And if you go through that entire course, it's 6 short videos, you'll crack the code to being able to lose your belly fat. Number 1, stop doing cheat days. And I used to be the king of cheat meals and cheat days. All McDonald's days, 10,000 calorie challenges in a day, even 20,000 calories in one occasion. Typically, my caloric intake during the week would look like this. From Monday to Saturday, I'd be consistent on my diet, hitting my calories every day. But on a Sunday, I would eat out at fast food restaurants like McDonald's, Burger King, Domino's Pizza, and have a crazy amount of candy as well. The calories on the days that I stuck to my diet was 2,000 calories, but when Sunday came, I would easily hit over 4,000 calories worth of foods high in fats and carbs with little to no protein. And what this did was diminish all of my fat loss progress that I'd been accomplishing throughout the week, which isn't what I wanted. See, the problem isn't the cheat day. It's the uncultivated, uncontrolled calories and macros that I was eating on Sunday, in proportion to the calculated days during the week. Instead of having a cheat day, rather swap it out for a refeed day. And a refeed day takes a different approach as opposed to that of a cheat day. A refeed day takes a scientific approach. Incorporating a refeed day in your diet is beneficial for 4 main reasons. Number 1, to drastically improve your training performance, which is usually hindered by being on a low-calorie, low-carb diet. Eating those extra calories will help you actually burn more calories in your training and walking. 2, it will provide you with a mental break from the monotony of a fat loss diet. 3, it will drastically reverse the negative hormonal adaptations associated with a low caloric intake and low body fat percentage, such as a reduced leptin level, which is the hormone that signals to your brain that you feel full. And also number 4, it will actually improve your adherence to your actual diet. What's the best cardio to be able to lose your belly fat and to lose fat overall? Now, when I started, I was doing a lot of HIIT, which actually helped me. However, it made it so much longer because there was days I would skip doing cardio because it was too hard on my body. My knees were in tremendous pain and my flat feet were in tremendous pain. And really, I was too heavy to be doing that amount of impact. So I would take 1 step forward and maybe 1.5 steps back. On some days, I would take 2 steps forward and I would see progress. However, when I changed my main form of cardio to walking, it was something that I could do every day for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. That's enough time to be able to lose your belly fat. And then when you're 20 pounds lighter, then you can start doing high intensity interval training and sprints. So my recommendation, when you're starting off, start at 8,000 steps, lose 2 to 3 pounds, move over to 10,000 steps, lose another 2, 4, 5 pounds, move to 12,000, 15,000. And then when you're finally at that 15% body fat range, then start utilizing tools like HIIT or any different type of high intensity training that will help you burn that extra amount of calories. And this will allow you to finally be able to lose your belly fat. Because if you're doing HIIT from the get-go, it's unlikely you're going to make it. Your body's going to be too much pain. I'll see you in the next step. Supplements are a waste of money. Well, most of them. Let me explain. I've had CLA, L-carnitine, fat burners, branched chain amino acids, and essential amino acids. Now, they all have a function. However, the effect isn't as big. These are the supplements I found the most beneficial. Number 1 is a whey protein. Naturally, it will help you build more muscle and it will help you hit your protein intake so that you can be efficient with the amount of protein you need to build muscle. And it will also make you feel fuller. The second supplement that is very effective is creatine. It's actually the most researched supplement. No, you will not lose hair having creatine. You'll actually increase your overall caloric output or power output. And the only reason personally I don't take it is that it can fluctuate with your weight on a day-to-day basis, but it is the one that will give you one of the biggest effects. The next supplement that I believe in is a pre-workout. I've improved my overall power output and training output and overall how many calories I'm burning on a pre-workout. Number one, because of the caffeine effects that's in there. And I found this to be extremely helpful in terms of staying motivated in the gym, training really hard and maintaining a high intensity. And this has actually helped me lose more fat because I'm burning more calories consequently. And on top of that, a multivitamin. As you're in a caloric deficit and you're losing fat, you're going to be eating less, consequently also eating less micronutrients. This is where a multivitamin will be extremely beneficial. And those are the 4 supplements that I truly believe in that you should have in your arsenal, and take them sparingly or accordingly depending on your situation. Let's move on to the next tip.
Now, when I started my fitness journey, I would do hundreds and hundreds of crunches, hoping for my abs to finally come out. And I did a lot of leg raises and I trained extremely hard, but months and months would pass and I still wouldn't see my abs. And the truth is, it would have been impossible to, because no matter how many crunches you do, you're always gonna have this layer of fat covering your abs when you're doing crunches. And as you can see, we all have abs. However, it's covered by this layer of fat. And once I finally learned to be able to get rid of this layer of fat, it's going to be through the diet, creating a caloric deficit, and being consistent with it. I was finally able to get rid of all of the fat, and finally I was able to see my six-pack truly revealed. And that was the realization I came to. Abs are made in the kitchen. You need to lose the fat first to finally be able to see your abs. I'll see you in the next.
I wish I learned and understood macros sooner. So this is your belly fat. And as you know, according to science, to lose 1 pound of fat in a week, you need to be in a caloric deficit. Specifically, 1 pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. And if you want to lose it in a week, 3,500 divided by 7 days in a week means you need to be in a caloric deficit of 500 calories a day. This is where the kicker comes in. You're doing the cardio, you're doing the training, you're eating healthy, you're having your salads, you're doing all the right things, you're drinking your shakes. However, you're adding just a small snack in there. So, example, look at this packet of tempeh chips, healthy, right? So, in this packet, there's 6 grams of protein. It's plant-based, real ingredients, source of fiber, much wow. But in reality, this packet has 250 calories and it's mostly air. If you eat 2 packets of these a day, that's 500 calories, no fat loss for you. Just these 2 packets every day cancels out all your efforts. Another one, all my clients, when they start with me, hey Mike, all I'm doing is eating some healthy cashew nuts, that's it, I'm eating some almonds. But if you see, most of this is just air. This entire packet contains 500 calories. Have 1 of these a day, 7 days a week, no fat loss for you. And this is why it's so frustrating for most of you. Another thing to be careful of is protein bars. In here is 200 calories. If you eat 3 of these a day, you're already over in terms of your calories. And also, it's important to look at the macros because these are both protein bars, right? However, as you can see, this one is much smaller. This one only has 10 grams of fat, but this one has 20. Go for this. They both have the same amount of carbs relatively, and they have the same amount of fat. This is better for you. Another common one, hey Mike, I'm just eating some dried fruit. However, from this dried fruit, it's 35 carb and 28 grams of the 35 is just sugar. Instead, you would have strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and watermelon. Those are amazing alternatives. So once I was able to understand macros, I wouldn't be making these very simple mistakes. And 3 months will pass by with a lot of you making these mistakes, and that's frustrating. So track everything that you're eating. Take the packet and read what's behind it and understand your macros, because once you're able to do that, it will allow you to make less mistakes and reach your goals sooner. Let's move on to the next tip. Resistance training. Resistance training is the driving force to body recomposition, meaning it's easy to lose fat from the diet alone, but it's nearly impossible to build muscle without the weight training. And weight training is paramount to building muscle and improving your body composition. These are some of the things that I want you to consider and the things that I want you to focus on. Number 1 is form and technique. I wish I knew this before. We want to focus on how to execute the exercise without causing any harm or injury to yourself to attain maximum benefit. I also want you to focus on the weights that you're choosing. Choose the heaviest weight you can to achieve the desired number of reps in each set without sacrificing your form. For example, if you have to do 6 reps of a dumbbell bench press flat, choose the heaviest weight you can that will challenge you to hit the 6 reps. Take note of which weight you chose and try and improve on it on the next time to perform and improve this exercise. Number 3, rest. When performing a compound movement like your bench press, squat, deadlift, and overhead press, I normally will take about 2 to 3 minute rest between sets. With an accessory exercise, which is everything else, 1 minute rest is enough. And with ab exercises, normally only taking 20 seconds rest is is enough. This is not the most important factor in training, so just go by your feel. And personally, the only thing I avoid is being on my phone too long or having a conversation mid-exercise. This is where I walk. Finally, record your weight. Progressive overload is when you're gradually increasing the weight, the frequency, or the number of repetitions in your strength training routine. This challenges your body and allows your musculoskeletal system to get stronger. The next tip is sleep well. Sleeping less was stopping my fat loss altogether. I was so busy with med school and having this goal to reach 12% body fat, I thought that sleeping less was okay and I would hit my goals anyway, but it was actually hurting me so much more than helping me. So I moved from 5 to 6 hours of sleep to 7 to 8 hours, and this is exactly how sleeping less was hurting me. Poor sleep can reduce your caloric output. When you're fatigued, you're less likely to walk as many steps as you would like to when you're fully rested. When you may also notice that you don't exercise at the same intensity, and even minor things like fidgeting may become less likely as your body subconsciously conserves your energy. As funny as it sounds, fidgeting can make a huge difference to your body weight. A 2016 study found that fidgeting can increase your energy expenditure by 20 to 30% compared to not fidgeting. A lack of sleep can reduce fat burning in a deficit. Poor sleep can also hinder fat loss by reducing the amount of fat burned while in a deficit by 55%, while simultaneously increasing fat-free mass loss, your muscle, by 60%. And according to a 2011 study, which compared weight loss in people who slept 8.5 hours versus the ones who only slept 5.5 hours, bad sleep can increase appetite and reduce satiety. A 2004 study found that short sleep duration reduced leptin, the hormone that tells us when we are full, and it also increased the hormone that stimulates our appetite and also increased our body mass index levels. You are literally hungrier and less able to feel full when you're sleep deprived. But it's not just the fact that your appetite is affected. Bad sleep can actually change the types of foods that you're drawn to. We tend to seek out the foods that are higher in calories, fats, and sugars when we're tired, as our body's attempting to replace the fatigue with high energy foods. Bad sleep has been shown to activate the cannabinoid type 1 receptor in our brains. This is the receptor that makes marijuana enjoyable. Anyone who spent any time near this drug will know how this induces a powerful hunger and poor food choice effect. The activation of the cannabinoid receptor in the brain can also explain the almost drug-like behavior of people who are very tired. Sleeping longer and improving your sleep quality can help you regulate your appetite, move more during the day, and it will also improve your hormonal regulation, cognition, and your mood. It's incredibly difficult to stay in a caloric deficit and burn fat if you're not sleeping properly. Every downside of a diet is magnified when you're also tired. This is why insomnia is strongly correlated with obesity. And these are the 7 things that I wish I knew about losing fat. I'm very sure that if I knew all these tips before I started, I would have reduced at least by half the time spent in being able to lose my belly fat. Let me know in the comment section down below if you went through a similar experience, if you agree or disagree, and if you are struggling and you're watching this video. Comment down below. I'm there for you in the comments and I'll reply to you and let you know, hey, do this instead. I'll give you the advice. And with that being said, if you want to work directly with me, you're currently here, you have belly fat, and you finally want to see your six-pack, and you want a direct path to be able to reach that goal, go into the description of the video, fill out the application to the best of your ability, and you'll get a link to book a call with me. We'll figure it out, we'll come up with a strategy, and we'll get started immediately. But I'll leave the video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.